Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's live stream. If this is the first time you're joining in, say hi and let us know in the chat where you're joining in from. Today, I'm going to be talking to one of my clients and Yes members, Charlene Tessier. She is a Canadian crypto tax advisor and consultant, and she's going to be coming in and talking all about the kind of videos she makes, the results she's getting from being a Yes member and from using my Authority Videos framework. And before we get started, I would love to hear from you in the chat. So come on in the chat and let me know what is your biggest challenge with YouTube right now. So let us know that in the chat, and I am going to make sure that my audio and video are going out perfectly. So, Ali, if you're in the chat, can you just let me know that you can hear us and see us perfectly fine, and I can go on and bring Charlene on. Um, and also, I just want to say that we're going to do a little bit of Q&A at the end as well. So if you guys have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat and we'll answer them as we go if they're relevant to what we're discussing right then and there. And we can also answer them at the end. So I'll set aside a few minutes at the end. Good morning, Julian. Good to see you. It's 3 p.m. for us here, and we're all really, really excited about the live stream. So I'm going to bring Charlene on. Hi, Charlene. Good to see
Hi,
you. Good
hello.
afternoon. Before Charlene came on, we were just talking about how we're both moms. We're both on YouTube. So, Charlene, tell us a little bit about why you're on YouTube and what do you do? What's your actual work?
I am a Canadian crypto tax expert. So I offer tax services, but I specialize with crypto investors and investors who actually use corporate structures for their crypto. And I specialize in Canada. So it's very specialized in what I do. And why I'm using YouTube is because there's actually very little crypto content for Canadians. Majority of the content that's actually on pretty much all social is actually usually for Americans. Even EU or UK market is a lot bigger. Canada is a very small population, and so we just don't have as many. I guess experts who are talking about it publicly in the space, and so that's why I decided to actually
I
start
actually
using
love
YouTube.
that. I actually love that because I feel that you are in, and I kind of relate to that because we're both in a marketplace where it's dominated by a lot of people who don't look like us. Let's just say that. And it's tough sometimes to make your mark. And also, I think a lot of people feel like you need to be very in a very interesting niche like beauty and fashion, like very visual niche to be successful on YouTube, or you need to be very good looking, or like they have all these like I would say misconceptions that stem from insecurities. We all have these insecurities, and we're like, okay, but like, who's going to listen to construction on YouTube, or who's going to listen to like, crypto tax advice, whatever. But you're here to prove that it works. And I'm going to dive into how you've been honing your channel. And I just want to say for context here that Charlene and I have been working together for a while. So even before she was a Yes member, she joined one of my earlier group coaching programs. And I remember that at that time, you were in a different niche. You were in
Yeah.
like LinkedIn marketing, and you actually switched niches and you created a new channel. So you have been like experimenting on YouTube. And I think that's amazing because it took a while, I think, for you to realize exactly what you wanted to do. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's been a journey for sure. This channel that I made, so like the Canadian crypto channel, I think it's maybe 18 months old. It's pretty young.
It
It's
is
not
pretty
very
young.
old channel.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't have a lot of videos still. I have 26 or so, but we will talk a bit more about what's happening there. I won't give it
Yeah.
away.
Absolutely. I just want to welcome a few more people into the chat. So we've got Charlie joining in, Ali's in. Excellent. Amazing. So let me know in the chat, guys, what is your current biggest frustration with YouTube, and if we can help with that. either myself or Charlene will be in the chat answering questions and also just answering questions in the live stream itself. So I want to bring on a little presentation that we put together for you, and Charlene's going to be sharing some of her numbers. So in this presentation, we want to really talk about how Charlene got 10,000 views and over 100, I should say over 10,000 views and over 100 leads from one authority video. Charlene, is it correct to say like over? Like you've crossed that barrier, right?
Yeah, I believe so now. The leads, like I checked actually today, like just into the new subscribers was almost 200 actually. 200 new subs.
Just
Um,
today or like in the last
well,
few days?
no, in the last 3
In the
weeks.
last
From after that video, after that
after that video,
one
yeah.
video, right? I got 100, and then now about a week and a half more has passed or so. It's not very old, that video. I think it's 3 weeks old.
I have
Now
screenshots, so we'll actually go through some of the dates here and show people. So I want to start with talking about what was happening in this time frame. So this is like September to November. This is before you started to create authority videos and before you got like a lot of clarity. So what were we doing between September and November? You were part of Yes, and you were creating these videos, and what was actually happening during this time?
yeah, so I was creating videos. I had created videos even a little bit earlier than that, but because it was September, it's kind of like the ramp up to my audience getting ready to watch more. So I wanted to like um have videos in there ready in Q4, ready for Q1. And so I already kind of started to try to make, they were getting okay traction, to be honest, but not spectacular. But, at least they were
Yeah.
doing something. Little blips for me was pretty happy, making me
I think
happy.
this is the this is how the videos were performing. Like I also see that you were very sporadic, like Feb, like a little flurry of
Yeah.
activity in Feb, and then September. So what happened between Feb and September?
My intention was to make a video, and I was actually planning a lot of videos. I had mapped out several, but never like I would do the thumbnail, the title, and then I would get busy, and then I would start a new video and do the script, and then I didn't finish, or I would like record it, but then it still needs editing. So it's all
It's
these
tough,
half
right?
baked videos.
I also want to ask people in the chat if they struggle with consistency, because I know we all do, and there's all sorts of ways to get over it. And Charlene did eventually, um, do like a very consistent run. I have to say, even she was even inspiring me. But I know that a lot of people struggle with consistency. So let me know in the chat if that is your big challenge and what stops you from being more consistent. Like so, Charlene, what do you think your big consistency challenge was?
For me, the biggest challenge was finding the rhythm that really worked for me. So a lot of people said batching is good, and some
Yeah,
people said do it every week. Some said do it once only every month, or try to. So I tried all these things, like taking a week off to do it, or try to just do 1 hour a day. I tried so many things, and it wasn't until later on that I found my rhythm actually, and that's how I was able to stay consistent.
so
A
practice
rhythm that
makes
really
perfect,
worked
right?
for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's important to note that sometimes it is going to take a while for you to find your rhythm, and you do have to go through that messy period of like trying different things, because I don't like to put consistency in one bucket and say everyone should batch record. It's really hard to batch record when you're first like figuring out YouTube. So I think it takes a while to understand all of that. Okay, so let's move to your breakout video and to the authority video framework. So walk us through what's happening in this screen.
So these ones are me starting the first few. Well, one is my new channel intro. When I started to get to after the first authority video, it's just below it. It already had like 300 views, which for me was like amazing because I usually only get like 100 views. So
Wait,
I
I
was already
have the
oh,
screenshot
I
for
need a
that,
new
I
channel
think.
video.
I'm like trying to find it here. I think this one was it like one of these?
Possible. yeah, possibly. And then so I thought, oh, it's my channel's picking up, so let's put a new channel
Yeah.
video.
Yeah.
And that's why you have that. But then the surprising truth, and then so I start to see more traction, and it start to jump like from just say 100 views or so to like three, four, 500 views, which for
Yeah.
me is really unheard of. And also is was the time frame was usually if I get 300 views, it takes me like 6 months. It takes a long time for me to get any like view. It's really slow out the gate. But these ones, after 2, 3 days, it would hit 300 views. It was like really accelerated. I was like, wow, that's really fast, which for me is not usual.
So let's talk about when you joined the Authority Video Framework, right? So I launched that program in October, and we decided to do a 10-week sprint. So what we did inside the Authority Videos sprint was that every week we were making these Authority videos, and I mapped out 10 video frameworks. And Charlene, I have to say that you were probably one of the more consistent people to come in on every single framework and follow through and like be very aligned with kind of following the frameworks, right? And so walk me through what started to happen when you made your first four Authority videos, because each of them was performing a little bit better than all of the videos you'd made previously, right? And so what was going through your mind at that point where you started to do the Authority video sprint, and what was the difference between the videos you were doing previously versus the videos you were doing with more authority? Like, explain to everyone, what does that even mean?
Yeah, so the videos I did previously, I did have a framework from you before, and I did use it, but I didn't realize until I did the authority frameworks that each video's like the pre-research and the planning and the real like focus of what that video is supposed to deliver is so important. And I didn't realize like with the other videos, they were really kind of lacking in terms of like focus. They delivered information, but they weren't hyper focused. And so with the authority frameworks, which I really love now, it's I noticed that the research and the pre-planning is just a lot more clear, and therefore I'm able to produce a better result, essentially.
Yeah. I like to say to people that the success of a video, like when you are like thinking in number of hours of work time, it's like you actually going to spend 80% of your time in planning and pre-production. Because if you do that, then the actual production will only take 15-20 minutes, like if you know your material, right? But the pre-planning, getting that title right, getting that hook right, getting the emotion in that thumbnail right, like that is the actual work. And then if you do that correctly, then you deliver your video in just 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever, right? The edit is also really easy because the material is just so on. Do you also find that you're spending more time in pre-production versus production?
Yeah, the whole time I would say is spent in pre-production. It takes me like I start base when because of the sprint cycle. I decided we would start on Tuesday, so that was the first day. I did some Wednesday, some Thursday, and usually I would try to record Friday. But if the script and this things weren't ready, or I felt weren't good, or the title and the thumbnail wasn't like on point, then I would push it out, and then I would usually record either Saturday or Sunday. The recording takes no time. I agree, like 15 minutes,
It's
but
so
the getting
misunderstood.
ready.
It's seriously so misunderstood. Everyone's like, I'm going to record a video today. I'm like, no, no, no. Spend like a week planning your video, because the recording is like less than 30 minutes if you know your material. And
Yeah,
it makes it
it's
so much easier. Okay, so let's show what happened when you made your breakout video. Now, I want to explain what a breakout video is. So, a breakout video is a video that does exponentially better than all of the other videos on your channel. And in Charlene's case, uh, she's still in the 10 or 30 videos. We still have the 10th video to make, right? But she
Mhm.
started the process. She created four authority videos, and her fourth video became a breakout video. And I think this is really essential to mention, because the algorithm is seeing the history, the channel history as well. So it doesn't necessarily mean that your first video that wasn't a huge breakout was not relevant. Like each video contributed to the eventual breakout video. So this is how your breakout video performed. Let's show the graph as well, which is, I think it's this one, right? So
Mhm.
7,700 views, and you gained 500 subscribers from this one video. So walk us through what was happening when this was all going down.
Yeah, so this video is really funny too because of all the videos prior to that, I was able to kind of produce them in about a week. And this one, I struggled. It took me more than 2 weeks to kind of do all the pre-work. And I was like, I don't know, a little bit angry at the
Really?
even when I was recording, I was a little bit, whatever, I'm just gonna put this out and if it does badly, well, fine, kind of thing. And then I was like really shocked because in the first 24 hours, it jumped 100 subs. And then the next 24 hours, it jumped 200 subs. And it just was like a straight line rocket on the graph, which I had never seen before.
Amazing.
And I was like, what is going on with this video? I was like completely surprised. And then the other thing that surprised me was how many, because I don't get comments on all my previous videos. First 20, I had almost no comments. It's pretty rare. And this one was just like nonstop comments. I had to check every few hours and respond to keep pace because there was just so
I want to
many
show
questions
like,
and comments.
what is this, like 100 comments in this screenshot?
Yeah, as of today, yeah. But in the first 3 days was like a lot. I don't remember how. It just seemed like, oh my gosh, like there's so many people asking so
Did you
because I've
feel,
never had to respond before. So
yeah, yeah. Did you feel good as those comments were coming in? And what, like, how did you handle them?
yeah, I was actually really happy because I kind of thought the comments would just be like, "Oh, thanks, great," but it wasn't. It was actually like really engaging, asking questions, and I was a little bit worried because I thought, "Oh, maybe I'm gonna get a lot of like troll comments," but actually wasn't. I didn't get. I maybe got one, but even that wasn't really that trolly. And most were very positive or like, this is a great video. I have a question about this, or could you explain more? Thank you so much for, helping us Canadians. And so it was
Yeah,
really positive, which
yeah.
was surprising as well.
Yeah, I mean, and we're gonna get to why these rich comments are so important. But I actually want to ask you one more question about the breakout video, where you said that it was the one where you were the least invested in the production. It was the fourth video. You were like, ah, whatever, I just need to get it done. And I almost feel like that energy of not being so tied in to the outcome and just going through the process, having a good framework to follow, and then just like being in your zone of genius rather than obsessing over the details is actually what helped you be more natural on camera and just get it done. Do you feel that as well?
Probably. I mean, once it was pushing like the second week, I was like, this has to be recorded. I have to stop fiddling with this script. I usually do one script revision. So I do first revision and then second revision. It's usually second revision is the one that gets recorded. This one, I think I did 5 revisions. And by the fifth revision, I was like, enough with these revisions. I need to just stop trying to perfect this thing and just record the darn thing. So get it
I
off.
think I really want to know in the comments if people do this as well. Like, do you obsess over getting the video perfect? Because, oh my God, I have so been there as well, trying to get the video to be like just perfect and obsessing and not releasing it because I'm obsessing that it needs to be this way or that way or whatever. But done is better than perfect every single time. So you want to get to like 80% done. And I think I want to ask you about how the frameworks that I gave you inside the authority videos actually helped you to script the videos. Did they make it faster? Did they make it more streamlined? How was the process for you?
Yeah, for me, these new frameworks actually end up helping me to find my rhythm. And partly having the pressure of having to record one a week forced me to kind of, like you said, stop with the perfectionism and not like just do the title and like, yeah, I get back to this and then never get it done. So now with the frameworks, because it is very step by step,
Yeah.
I can do like Tuesday, I'm going to do the research and I will do the first title and thumbnail draft. It doesn't have to be good, but at least it's some mental start. And
Yeah.
then I know next day I'm going to script. And then the third day, I actually sometimes go back. I usually do go back to the title and thumbnail and tweak it again because, as you know, it's the most important part. So I
Yeah.
spend double time on that.
Yeah.
And
And then the
so,
data is
yeah.
coming in, and then that helps you to make it, you know what to tweak when the data comes in. So I think it's really also important to know what your baseline numbers are. So if you know you always get a CTR of, let's say, 5%, and on your next video you get 1%, you know that something needs to be tweaked at that point. So it's really important to know your baseline.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely.
Julian is saying, definitely part of my challenge, aiming for perfection. I think it's all of us, especially in the beginning, because we just, obsess over how we are presenting our information. We obviously want it to be good. We obviously want to look professional. I think that's the barrier. Like, do I look professional enough? Do I appear professional enough? Am I rambling too much? Is my background good? All of these things that are so would you say that the authority video frameworks were like a cheat sheet for you?
Yeah, almost. For me now, I don't think I will make videos without them. I already reused it. Like we're still going through the 10. We're not done yet, but I've already made because it is so much quicker. I already reused the framework too, like two times and put out like some really quick videos because it was a lot faster. And also, I mean, it's just like anything. The first time you go through it, it is a little bit slower, but every time I use the framework, it's like, oh yeah, this is how it's going to go. I know how this is going to work. And so I'm able to actually crank them out quicker and at a better, like a very quick pace, actually, which has given me that rhythm that I kind of need.
I actually have a personal question, but not personal about you, personal about the frameworks. Do you have a favorite framework now that we've gone through nine video frameworks? Did you have a favorite one?
My favorite ones are the story ones. So I really like the case study one and actually, I also really like trending, something like that's called the trendy video. Yeah, that one I use quite a bit. I thought I would use Mythbuster more, but I really love story based. That's just for me. It's because if I look at my industry, which is talking about tax and it's and crypto, it's
Yeah.
probably like the most dry topic you've ever heard about. And even that was my fears. Like, who's gonna want to listen to a boring lecture on this? So I really try to focus on a story based and one I did recently was actually it was teaching you a specific tax rule through story, seven different people's story, which I gave their names, fake names. And it was so funny in the comments because they would say, like, I'm Marcus or I'm John, I'm David. It's just like,
Aligned with the story characters that you had made.
yeah, but
I,
who
I
I was
love
talking
this.
about.
I love this because during the calls when I was teaching the authority video frameworks, you were like, "How am I going to make a story video when I'm talking about a subject as dry as taxation?" And I remember that you said that or some version of that when we were doing the videos, when we were doing the frameworks, and I remember thinking that anything can be turned into a story, even the driest of subjects. And actually, this is the way to win on YouTube right now because of all the AI stuff and all the regurgitated and all the, the obsessive like nature of like the tutorials and how to videos and everything. People are craving like something that they can relate to, and stories do that. Like, that's what stories are. They help you see yourself in the problem. So I actually thought Charlene's approach to this was ingenious because she took my story frameworks, made up characters who were going through all of these taxation problems, and then what did you do? You guided them on how to solve their problem, right?
How to understand a specific one very specific tax rule, which is hard to
Right.
understand it. And there's just different ways depending on how what background or what parameters you have for that rule, then it impacts how the rule works.
Yeah.
And so I was surprised. It actually was a very actually that was live stream, but the replay was also huge. I thought it might surpass the breakout, but it didn't. But it's still, I think, over 3,000 views or four
Yeah,
thousand views.
I
Like,
do have a I do have a
yeah,
screenshot of showing your live stream as well. So it's not just recorded videos that she was doing. She's doing these. Oops, we have the comments as well. Oh, I thought I put a screenshot of that here as well. Okay. Well, anyway, but we can link to Charlene's channel and you guys can see that. But she did do two videos. And I think this one shows like over a period of 28 days that you added almost 800 subscribers. And I know this number is actually higher right now because
Yeah.
the screenshot was from a few days ago. And you can see here that this is the recorded video. And then there's a live stream on December 3rd. So you can see the live stream little icon there, and then her next authority video was released, I think, on December 14th, 15th, I want to say. And so
Hmm.
she's had these, and then one before that. So just four authority videos and one live stream got her almost, I think, more than 800 subscribers just coming from these. Is that correct, Charlene? Were you at
Yeah.
one? I said
I
in my email that you were at 200 before you started the authority video framework, but you corrected me.
Yeah, I was only at one. I had just hit 100, and I
Yes.
announced that in the group before we started. I was like so happy too because it took more than a year. I was like, "Yay, 100!" And my
Yeah.
goal was like, if I can hit 200 by the end of 2026, I would be over the moon. That was my channel expectation.
I remember reading that and thinking, okay, she's got her sights set very realistic. She's totally gonna blow it out of the water. Just watch. And I knew you'd do it, but I didn't want to jump the gun and say that. But I'm glad you did. So you moved from 100 to 1,000 subscribers, I think, in the last 10 to 14 days. That's kind of the time
Yeah.
frame I'm looking at. Okay, I know Julian has a question here, and I know that you have a really great answer. But before we get to your question, Julian, I just want to come to why Charlene getting comments, what I call rich comments, is so important. So I'll just quickly talk about what rich comments are. So when you typically get comments on a video saying, "Oh, this was really valuable, this was really nice, great video," or sometimes "you look great," or whatever, those are not rich comments, right? Rich comments are typically when people take the time and the energy to sit down and write a very thoughtful comment. And the reason why rich comments are a really good marker of the fact that you are making authority videos is because people are genuinely interested in your answer back to them. So they might be asking questions, they might be talking about key takeaways from your video, they might be taking your video and applying it to their situation and then like making a very custom query. So rich comments really, really demonstrate that people are invested, they're watching the video, they like the material that you presented, and they're considering you as an authority because guess who they're going to ask questions. They're coming to you to ask all these questions, right? And so I just want to show Charlene, if you want to read out some of these comments that we have here. Go ahead. These are some amazing
Yeah, so the
comments.
first one, you don't have to know anything about crypto as well, just so you know. So if you buy crypto asset and lose 100K in it and then decide to buy it back inside the 61-day window, is it a capital loss? And does that doesn't make sense to me. And so that was explaining one of the very specific rules there. Um, and then below that, I had great video. I live in Calgary. Can I hire you to do my taxes? LOL, not kidding. I also had a lot of people who wrote things like, because their taxes, mixed with their mess of their crypto makes them like they love crypto, but they hate taxes. And so one guy, I didn't give you that one. I should have. It was funny. He wrote, it's like, "Oh, my stuff is a total mess. And I'm laughing but crying at the same time." Or something like that. It
So they
was
were really trying to get your opinion on things. They were really thinking of you as the person who's going to help them through the things that they're going through. That's exactly what authority videos do. I
yeah.
love that. I love that. Okay, I'll make it big screen again so you can read.
Oh, and then after that is like, what if you purchase a different crypto? So I'm not going to answer that. You can go to my channel and see if you're really interested the replies. But you can see sometimes I would reply and then they would ask another question or they would say thank you so it was often multiple like layers of comments with one
Yeah,
person actually. Mhm.
yeah. I'm on the next comment screen.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad I landed on this video. Are you able to help guide me if I'm located in Quebec and that's a specific province in Canada? And can I be your client? So I had a lot of those asking me how to get in touch with me to find out more about my services.
And there's one more, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, Charlene, thank you for answering my emails and for such great advice on crypto taxes. And can us Canucks, that's a name for Canadians, save taxes by filing as an LLC?
Okay, so let's break this down, right? So rich comments, people begging to be your clients. So what did you do? And I think we can actually answer Julian's question at this point. He's asking how best to leverage the breakout video to your advantage. So the first thing that Charlene did very intelligently is answer every single comment. So Charlene, you want to tell us about your strategy for how you leverage the breakout video?
Yeah, so I tried to answer the comments, especially in the first 3 days, as quickly as possible, rather than having them wait, say, like 48 hours.
Right.
Um, I also linked my. I have like a free gift, free lead magnet. A lot of people have that, so I had a free opt-in so that they can get in my list. And then the other way they could contact me, because LinkedIn or YouTube, the one of the main downfalls for it, for my audience, anyways, is that people don't want to talk privately about their situation generally. They'll always make they if they want to ask you, they want to ask you privately, so they want to DM, but they can't DM on YouTube. So what I have is they can go to my website, and on the very front first button says ask me your question. And so
That's
when
smart.
they do that, then I had like especially with that video, is like than 20 emails a day, which is a lot. And on top of the lead, people coming into the lead magnet as well. So it
Yeah.
was pretty onslaught because
Yeah.
just take up all my time between answering comments, answering emails, and people coming in through the lead
So,
magnet.
how many leads did you track coming in from your breakout videos or from YouTube in general during this time?
Yeah, I don't know exactly from the breakout videos, probably at least 100 new leads. But as of now, and we've only been doing this sprint for, I don't remember, 6 weeks. I
Yeah.
had over, yeah, 200 new leads just in my newsletter, whatever you call that
Right.
system.
Right.
And then I get at least 5 to 10 direct emails a day, because you can just go to my website and it goes straight to me, and I will
Right.
ask. And
Right.
that's been going on for over since that breakout video, so like more than 3 weeks. It's pittering a bit now because it's Christmas, but I
Yeah.
expect when people are bored between Christmas and New Year to have like an onslaught of emails again.
It's so cool how you understand your market. You know when people are going to be like active, you know when people are going to be taking time off. And I think that's one of the reasons that you're succeeding so well is because you know your audience and you can predict all of these things. So one of the things that you did was, and I know we talked about this inside Yes as well, that not only were you answering the comments, but you were also dropping in your lead magnet at the end of every comment so that they could then get on your list, DM you, get in touch with you, and have like that direct interaction. Super, super smart. I know that we also talked about one other way to leverage the success of the breakout video, and that was through the community tab. So, do you want to guide us through what you were doing there?
Oh yeah, that was when you told me I had to do this on top of all these things. I was like, grown, but I'm gonna do it because I want this thing to keep growing. So I posted every day. I'm still posting. I think I missed actually today, but posted every day for the last few weeks, promoting that post, polling. And that was surprised too, because it's the same thing. Before I had used community, nobody answers. And I polled like, what video you want to see next? And I gave 3 choices and people voted. And I did a little like a quiz, like which of these is not taxable? And I was surprised. Some people got it wrong, right? But people answered. And people commented on the post. So
Yeah.
people even asked questions, which I was like, oh, wow, there's people here.
They're invested, they want to talk with you, right? And I love the fact that you immediately jumped on the community tab when I suggested it to you. And I
Yeah.
remember saying this to Charlene. I was like, just get post every day, and people undervalue it so much. The community tab on YouTube actually has a much higher reach than you would think. It's reaching people who are subscribed to you, it's reaching people who are not subscribed to you but who have seen some of your videos. It's reaching people who are like vaguely even interested in the topic that you're talking about, and so it's reaching like a wider audience. And from that community tab, once they start engaging, they're going to start seeing more of your videos. The more they engage, the more YouTube is going to show your future videos to them. And that's actually what happened when you did your live stream after that as well. You got a ton of engagement on that because you were consistently active in the community tab. So I would never tell people to make like daily videos for education and business channels, but I will say it's worth your while to maybe do a 90-day daily sprint on the community tab. Just post text, images, polls, and you can schedule them. You don't even have to actually be there live, but be in the comments to answer. But if you just, have that and just take a look at your analytics after that and see, because YouTube now shows you how many people are viewing, how many impressions are getting, your community posts are getting, how many impressions they're getting, and how many people are actually coming in from there. So you can actually track that data as well.
Oh, I didn't know.
I know,
So
I know. I'm just sharing it with you right now. I'm like,
I'll
I,
have to check.
I should probably share this with all the yes members. But yeah, I'll put a graph in there. Like my new channel is so small right now, but I actually get more impressions on the community tab than anything else.
Hmm.
So it is, that's why I told you do that every day, and it's easier, right? It's easier to just post a comment or a poll or whatever, because it's just a very low effort but very
Yeah.
high reward. So I really want to talk about a little bit about some of the results that you were getting in terms of clients. So you mentioned 200 leads. Have any of them become clients yet? And what's your process for actually getting clients from your YouTube channel? So I'll share the testimonial again in just a sec, but just walk us through what your process is. So when you get that lead, how do you normally convert them into clients?
Yeah, so they have to go through a few steps before they become a client because they have to be a good fit. Not everybody's a good fit, but even if you're not my ideal client now, because that was one of the reasons I also wanted to create a YouTube video, is to direct those people to another video that would be good for them because they're not a
Exactly.
right fit for me right now, and
Yeah.
I have some evergreen resources. But if you be essentially, you will go through, you will contact me and give me your question, then I will determine whether or not you're a possible fit. If you're a possible fit, then I have an intake form, and once you complete the intake form, that kind of cues me whether or not you should move on to our what's called stage one, where we kind of do a small project assessment on the work that needs to be done. And once you pay for that, that is a paid service, then you would level up to the next level of service, which would be more involved. Usually it's a lot more work. It's usually about 1 year's worth of work. And that's why we have it kind of tiered. So they kind of go through a few communications back and forth with
Right,
me.
right. Would you say that this is the process because it's more higher end clients and they need to be vetted, because not everyone would be a good fit for the kind of work that you're doing?
Yeah, it's because there's just like any other business, you can cater to different people in different stages of their buying process, whatever you
Yeah,
call that.
yeah,
For me particular, I only work with intermediate to advanced crypto investors. And so I don't work with DIYers or even beginner investors because they generally don't have enough knowledge and they don't have enough real work actually for me to do. And I just, my channel is very different than other
crypto
crypto
bros, I want to say.
investors. Yeah, you'll notice I don't talk about the basics. I just go right in because if you're intermediate, I know what you should know as a base foundation. And then when people email me and they kind of ask me questions like, why didn't you answer these? Like asking me things that, of
Yeah.
course, I didn't say in the video because I assumed you should know that. And if you don't know that, then I just direct you to another
No, I love the
form.
fact that you know your audience so well. And I really want to, I'm emphasizing this a lot because it's so important. And everything starts with knowing your audience. Like all the work, all the strategy work that we've been doing inside Yes and all of these places is that knowing your audience is the single biggest leg up or unfair advantage that you can possibly have when you're starting, relaunching, revamping, trying to grow your channel, is like really really hone in on those, because your title strategy comes from that, your thumbnail expressions come from that, your hook comes from that, your CTA comes from that, your, what you actually offer, your program, your offer, your products, what level they're going to be at, everything is going to come from that. So once you know who your audience is, and I remember that we went through some iterations of this, like with you, you were trying to figure out, okay, who exactly is your audience, and you settled on like intermediate to advanced. And now every video you create is bang on target for that one person. And the idea of that is, of course, bingeability, so that if one person watches one video, all the other videos are also relevant for them, right?
Mhm.
So I think, and you're seeing that happening. One breakout video is now going to populate all of the other videos and make them also popular and get more views and convert. So
Yeah, I definitely.
yeah, I want to talk about what was happening here. So you were already getting clients even before you had this breakout video, right? You mentioned to me that you did a live
Yeah.
stream and you got like what was happening here. How are you getting these clients?
So that was last year. I had a slight, it's same target audience, same topic. So I was starting to get people contacting me through my YouTube video, not a
Yeah,
huge amount, but a few, and they were the like ideal client. They were intermediate to advanced. So I knew that there was something there, like that they're definitely around, probably trying to get information, but not enough people was delivering that. And I was still figuring out how to make the right kind of video for me. I guess you could say this is no wrong, I think, but it's just what's the right for my people and also for me as a person. Um,
yeah.
that was one of the things I was struggling a little bit with earlier in the year was I didn't really like my this. I think everybody is critical of themselves, but I didn't like myself on camera and how
Oh,
I delivered it. It was very educational and I found it kind of dry and boring even for myself. And I thought I don't want to I'm not loving my YouTube because I'm not loving what I'm doing, like how I'm presenting it. And with the new frameworks, I feel it's more authentically me actually. And that
really?
comes out. Yeah, it comes out more.
Wow. I didn't even consider that like side benefit. That's so amazing to hear that you have that the framework is helping you have more personality
Well,
on
just
camera.
be my more myself,
Be
really.
more
Before,
yourself.
I kind of felt I had to be very, very. Think of an accountant. You think of accountants very dry, very. I have to, and it's so. I
Yeah.
said, you know what? I'm not going to be that. I'm going to be me.
Yeah.
And if you don't like me, that's fine. There's many other people that you can help you,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I will be authentically me. Yeah.
I love that attitude. And I think that is very attractive on video. When you see somebody being comfortable in their skin, that energy just translates so well on video to attract that other same energy as well with other people who are like, okay, she seems to know what she's talking about. She seems happy and comfortable and having fun. And that is attractive. It is attractive. And I think rather than, people thinking about you need to be good looking, I think you need to have good energy on camera. I think that's
Hmm.
the magic sauce. You know, I
Hmm.
would love to know in the comments if you feel too self-critical about your videos, and you might feel if you come up, like, do you enjoy watching your own videos? I think that's the litmus test. you know,
Not still not too much, but I can actually tolerate a bit more now. I don't cringe as much, but I think
I
everybody
still I still
cringes
cringe
watching
watching my
themselves.
initial videos. I'm like, oh God, why do I talk like this? And it's natural, like everybody cringes. But the more fun you start to have, I think the less you worry about the cringe. You're like, okay, fine, I'm cringy, whatever, I'm gonna do it anyways.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that. Love that. Okay. So I really want to just bring in the fact that Charlene is a yes member. Charlene, what would you say being in this yes membership has done for not just for your channel but also for you as a business owner? So yes stands for the YouTube Entrepreneur Society. It's my 12-month membership. It's my flagship program, and Charlene has been a founder member actually. So what would you say the membership actually helps you do today?
Um, it helps me with accountability because I am unfortunately a person who really needs that. The group also isn't like it's very active. It's not a very passive group. It's so when you go to the calls, we get things done. When you post things in the community, you see people responding, and there's a lot of activity and a lot of like support from Salma, but also from the other members. And I find that for me really helps because I it feels like you're with a group trying to grow, even though we all have very different business and we don't really know what other people's business is about. But it feels like we're growing together in the group. And for me, it's just yeah, I really enjoy being there. Of course, I love all the frameworks and all the challenges. We have these little mini challenges from time to time, but even when we do a hot seat or it's just so many things that we do that's very you never go to a call and feel like, oh, I've wasted my hour. You always like, oh, I learned that. Oh, I didn't do this. Oh, I can improve that. There's always like that 1% better you can do every week in the yes community, I would say.
I love that. I think the importance of having a group is exactly like you said, that it's like learning from the teacher, trainer, mentor, whatever, right? Or coach, but then also learning from your peers. And that has so much value because you feel like you're all on the same journey. And I am so happy and proud that everyone is so supportive and so friendly and so uplifting of everyone else. That's something that I think is just amazing. So I just want to quickly let you guys know that Yes is currently open for enrollment for our January batch. So if you join now in December, you'll get in on the current pricing. And the reason it's a 12-month journey is because we divide it and give a lot of support. So every month there's like trainings and stuff and group coaching calls. And also, if you want to do a very linear journey, you can go through 4 phases, which is foundational, content, authority, and revenue, but they're not linear. Like you can jump through, if you want to make money right now with your YouTube channel, like just jump straight into the revenue phase. If you already have a product, let's say, just jump straight into the revenue phase. If you want to build more authority and you're creating like how to videos or tutorial videos, and you're like, no, I really need people to see me as the credible, trusted subject matter expert, jump into the authority phase, right? And so on. So I have purposely structured it to be flowy while having a structure, and people are seeing results. This is from one of my clients. She's a Pilates teacher, and she was telling me about how YouTube is paying her mortgage right now through both AdSense and through her Pilates programs. This is another member who is earning through affiliate revenue via her YouTube channel $22,000 in just 6 videos that she had made last year. This is another client of mine, Sonal, who's an HR career strategist and has a group program. Did the quick win offer inside Yes and is running group trainings. And she was like, people are joining her trainings because of her YouTube channel. And what Charlene was mentioning is that we have we have accountability stuff. We have all these various things inside. So there's on demand trainings that you can watch if you're the kind of person who's like, I want to watch at my own time. But then there's also monthly coaching calls. So if you want active support, you actually come on the coaching calls, right? And then you also get one monthly training that I do, which is skills focused. And by the way, I'm planning a training on a video sales funnel. So like you were mentioning, like you have intermediate clients, and so how can we you know make that smoother? So for example, after somebody watches a video, what happens next? What do they do next? What do you do next? And how do you enroll them into your program? How do you get them to buy a digital product? How do you get them to hire you for services? Like all of that kind of stuff. So mapping out your entire sales funnel from YouTube. So that's a training I have coming up in 2026, very early on in the first quarter. And also, I give you templates and frameworks. So the Authority Video Frameworks was born from the idea. I think Charlene might have actually sparked this idea where she was like, could you just give me like a script that I can just follow? I think you might have mentioned that in one of the hot seats. Like, I just want, like, tell me exactly what to do. And I was like, or maybe a number of people said this. And I was like, okay, you know what? If I just create something that you can plug and play, then it will make production so much easier. for you. And so that was the theory behind coming up with the authority video frameworks. And then, of course, you are also getting access to all the future courses that I release, the future work that is coming up. I have a packed 2026 schedule that I'm going to be, showing my Yes members. And then you also get all of these bonuses, which is all of my courses. You get Launchpad, brand deals, live streaming courses, my planner, which, by the way, is it selling on its own. Like, so many people are buying just the planner because it's made in Notion. It's got AI prompts, and it really helps you, categorize your workflow and all of that. And then you get membership discounts for software as well. So all of these bonuses. And what I also want to mention is that Yes is a 12-month program. So it is priced at 2,600 a year, but you can get on payment plans for 675 a quarter. But I do want to say that this price will not be this price all of next year. At some point next year, the price is actually going to increase. And the most important thing, when Charlene joined, she was a founder member. It was way lower than this. But I like to reward my members for joining early. And so when you join in at the price that is the current price, that will be the price for you as long as you stay a member. Like, you will be grandfathered in at that price. And I really believe in doing that, because when I, join a program or buy a software, I want to get rewarded for being there, for being loyal, for helping to structure the program, right? And so I want to reward that. And so that's my kind of value ethos, whatever you want to call it. And I really believe in that. So, Charlene, I think the last thing I want to ask you, or maybe not the last thing, but the second last thing, is what would you say to someone who is considering joining Yes right now, but might be hesitating, like, oh, 12 months seems like a very long commitment. I don't know. Will I get enough support? Uh, will I actually make money? Like, what would you say to them?
Mhm. I think it's like any training that you want to take. If you're going to be committed to it, you need 1 year, because you can't see the results in just, you're going to see results early, but in terms of seeing like the full results, even for me, getting all these leads, like my funnel is literally super full, but it was 1 year. But as Selma showed, like, even though I was consistent and eventually I became a bit consistent, it takes time to like get some momentum going, and you have to kind of commit to the process. And I think a year is needed, especially with YouTube. It is like a long game, but for me, I feel like, yes, there's some upfront, work, heavier work now, but I believe, I don't know yet, but this is going to be much more evergreen than an Instagram or something like that, which
Oh,
I
100%.
really don't like, because I don't think it's
Yeah.
going to have longevity in terms of assets for your business. And I think it will continue to bring leads, long after the video has been done, which I will not know till next, one tax season from now. So many of the videos I made for Q4, the trending videos, are very specific for October, November, December in the season. So I'm very, very curious to see if those videos I made this quarter, next quarter, starts getting like this graph and going up. But I
You
didn't do
see a
anything
spike.
extra.
100, I can guarantee it right now. You're going to see a spike, because once the algorithm has identified that this video performs and people start searching for it, it's going to start to show that video to relevant people again, because it's already identified the audience. So 100% you're going to see spikes, seasonal spikes of
Yeah.
topics. And so it's so amazing that you can just do that once and then kind of just move on and not touch it again, and it'll get you results. It'll still get you leads. It'll still get you clients and views.
Yeah, so that's for me. I think it's worth 1 year. And in terms of support,
Yeah.
I feel it's a lot of support. It is not a do-it-yourself, or like you just read the course and then you just try and work it out on your own. No, it's not like that at all. It's very hands-on. We do this stuff together. If you get stuck, there's always, I feel Salma is very quick to give us help and help, look at this thumbnail. Look, everybody is always putting, would you like this or this, and it's
Yeah.
it's it's, it's all the time, but it's in a way, uh, all it's not only Selma, everybody in the community is going to help you, because in the end, it doesn't matter if you know the person's business. You will know if you like the thumbnail or not. It's kind of a gut feeling whether you're going to click on that, and that's all
Yeah.
that person really needs
And
is
that's what
some
the
eye.
community helps with, right? And when you put your ideas forward, sometimes we're our own worst enemy because we overthink our ideas, but when we put it there, we get some objective opinions as to what actually works, like thumbnail testing, title testing, which again, I have to stress is way more important than the actual product. Of course the production matters, but it'll become easier if you do that pre-production stuff before. I've put a link to apply to join Yes in the chat. There's also a QR code that you can scan for ease if you like. But essentially, this will take you to an application form that you can fill out. So whether you want to work with me in any capacity, I do have like a number of programs that I offer. Yes is the flagship program. I do have dedicated courses. You might be a better fit for that. I do offer one-off strategy sessions as well. You might be a better fit for that. So it really depends. So I would say that apply, fill out the application form, and let me guide you as to what would be the best way forward based on where you are, what your needs are, and where you want to go with your YouTube channel, your business, all of that. So I think that, take 3 minutes, send in your application, and we'll see what happens, right? And I think this is a really great time to do it. Would you say that like this 2-3 week break in December that the whole world goes crazy, where nothing matters, nobody knows what time it is, what day it is, right? You would know this for tax season, right? It's like this. I don't quite know how to describe it. It's a crazy time, but it's also the best time to prioritize things, to think about where you want to go, to look inward a little bit. Would you say that, what would you say to somebody thinking of starting a YouTube channel in 2026? What should they do now in December to position themselves?
Mm. And they're not part of Yes, or they are?
And they're not part of Yes.
Really think about, like, what is it you, how do you want to attract your audience, and do you want to build an asset that's gonna live, like it's gonna have staying power and it's gonna have value. I feel like a YouTube channel is actually has value, because it's not only for me the a number of right now it's a client leads, but I'm really hoping that I'm going to make more authority videos that's going to leverage and bring in a lot of collabs and partnerships this year. And I think that's where the big money is going to be. But it can only be done if I do it through YouTube. And I don't really think other social channels have that kind of staying power and essentially value, long-term value, and the asset of a company. I feel this is an asset to the company.
This is definitely an asset, right? And I also love what you said about the fact that you want to see how you can do partnerships, sponsorships, collabs. And I want to ask you a really quick question, Charlene, about what does becoming an authority really mean to you?
Um, what it means to me is that you're a person who others in the industry, refer you, sort of say, yeah, that person, they know what they're talking about. If you want to know about that, then you got to talk to her. Or if you're called to be, usually on stages, that's when people feel you're an authority because you're on stages. And if you
Yeah.
can't get on stages, I think you can be an authority in YouTube, and you will eventually be on stages, right? It's
Exactly. That's
next step.
my journey. Absolutely. Also, I feel that you know, positioning yourself as an authority is kind of the first step to credibility, to
Mhm.
people seeing that you are an expert, or you know what you're talking about, and you are somebody worth kind of listening to, right? And it gives you, and I feel that, it having an Instagram account doesn't give you authority. Like having a LinkedIn account doesn't give you authority. Having a Facebook profile or page or whatever still doesn't give you that level of authority, right? But the minute you start creating videos, and then authority videos, on YouTube, it's an instant tap that you can turn on, and it immediately position, like all of these rich comments that you're getting right now are coming from people who view you as an authority. Otherwise, why would they be spending time and energy in commenting, you know? So it
Yeah,
really turns on the tap.
yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
And what are your plans for 2026?
Well, my plans for 2026 is continue with my YouTube channel, of course. I'm planning to release a video every second week, which is a very ambitious goal for me, as you have seen by my track record. I started strong and peter away,
Yeah.
but I think this year I will be able to do it because I now have found the rhythm through the sprint has kind of forced me to figure out a workflow that really works for me. And I agree, you have to find what there's no wrong way to do it, but I did try batching 2 weeks ago and I was like, batching is not for me. So, and that's okay. But
That is
one
okay.
video a week is for me. I can kick out one video a week in 2, 3 hours. Like that's not that long. It sounds like a long time, but that includes the entire like 3 hours means the whole process, right? From
Yeah.
thinking about it to
Planning,
yeah, there's a
production,
lot.
edit, upload, distribution, everything. That's amazing. Actually, 3 hours is very short. That if you can do that, that is,
Exactly. Yeah. Before it was probably more like 6 to 10 or maybe even 15, 20 hours for one. I was really, really slow and it was painful and kind of arduous. And I think that also like just you get tired of keep cranking away on that when it takes too long. You get
yeah.
bored and then that's why I still have a bank of half unfinished videos, which
And
I'm
it leads
hoping
to
this year.
overwhelm as well, because you get overwhelmed with the process and then you give up, right? And that's the surefire way to not continue. And
Yeah.
then when you have a streamlined process, it becomes fun. It takes shorter amount of time, but also each video lives forever. So when you like balance like the today effort versus the future rewards and results, then it's a no-brainer. It's like if I can just invest these 3 hours this week, it can get me results for the next 10 years. Like that's who wouldn't say yes to that, right?
Mhm.
Okay, well, I want to thank you, Charlene, for taking time out, coming on this call, sharing your journey, your story, your how you overcame all of the things that you did. I like working with people who, the more like you put in the effort, the more I want to work with you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, if I see you doing it, I want to help you even more. So I absolutely appreciate you. I want to say have a great Christmas, holiday season, um, quality time. Take a break from YouTube after our 10th video framework is done, and then you absolutely deserve that break. And thank you so much for being here. If you guys have any questions, either in the live stream or if you're watching the replay, just put them down in the chat, and me or Charlene will come in and answer depending on who you're asking. And yeah, we'd love to see you. Hey, Lana. I know that. Did I tell you Lana was here in Madeira a few weeks ago? It was so much fun. It's so much fun meeting Yes members. Yes, Julian, thank you so much for being here. By the way, Charlene, he's thanking you for being real. I love that.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
Love that. All right, guys, take care. And I'll see you until the next video, live stream, whatever coming up on my channel. Until then, have a great holiday season. And if you are applying to Yes, go ahead. I will be looking at applications in the next week. So go ahead and send yours in, and we will have a chat about it. Take care. Bye.